understand. You're a perfect man. Got the whole world in your hands, but you still reaching out for me. Ooh, wow, why you love me too?
What's up, beautiful people? It's me again. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification if you want to know when I post a new video. A lot of times you forget, you're busy, whatever, your schedule is very hectic. So I don't want you to miss this. Every week I will be posting every week. So if you're new here, just hit that bell notification so you'll be notified every time I make a video. Now today we're going to be talking about a cool story in the Bible, and it is about David and Goliath. Now, some of y'all remember the story of David and Goliath from Sunday school. Yes, probably a long time ago. So this should refresh your memory, and then for those who've never heard of the story, just stay tuned. Now David is the main character of this story, y'all, and at the time he was a shepherd in Israel, and at the time the king of Israel was a man named King Saul. Now King Saul, y'all, at this time he was on God's naughty list, okay? He had disobeyed God several times, over and over, y'all, leading up until this point. So God was a little disappointed with King Saul, and he knew that. God had spoke to a prophet named Samuel one day and revealed to him that the king of Israel, the next king of Israel, will be David, the shepherd boy. Y'all, so King Saul starts having these dreams that are really not, going well for him. He's having these nightmares, actually, and he's having dreams that someone is trying to take over his kingdom, right? And he's just like, I ain't having it. But it's really distracting him. It's making him feel uneasy. So he calls the prophet Samuel to his palace, and he's like, listen, I'm having these dreams that somebody is, trying to take over my kingdom. I don't really know about this. I need some help with this. So the prophet Samuel was like, it's just a nightmare. Don't worry about it. Go drink some ginger ale, lay down. Nah. No, but for real. So Samuel tells him, hey, if you're having these dreams and they're really making you feel uneasy, just tell me what you want. And what do you think will ease your mind and ease the pain of thinking about these nightmares that you're having? So King Saul tells him, look, I am a fan of music, and if you know somebody who can play some music really good and just bring them to the palace, I think that would make me feel a lot better. So the prophet Samuel like, oh, that's a piece of cake. I know, Jesse from over there down yonder. Yeah, he got a son named David, and he's a great musician. I'm gonna bring him, and I bet you he gonna settle your spirit. He gonna make you feel good. So David comes to the palace. He plays for the king, and King Saul feels that the music is soothing to his spirit, and he just feels at ease at this point. Now, right across where the Israelites lived was the Philistines, and the Philistines were giant people, y'all. Like, everybody there were giants. So they had like a bunch of Shaqs and Yao Mings running around, and they were just big, y'all. And the biggest of them all was a Philistine named Goliath. Now Goliath was the tallest of all the Philistines. So imagine somebody bigger than Shaq or bigger than Yao Ming. Yeah, that was him. The Bible says that he was actually like 10 feet tall. He made the Israelites look like midgets. So one day, Goliath and the Philistines walked up to the hills that divided the Israelites from the Philistines. And y'all, they just got to talking smack. Mainly Goliath, he was talking all type of smack to the Israelites, and he's like, I want to challenge y'all to fight, and I bet y'all I'm gonna defeat y'all, and I'm gonna take over y'all. Y'all gonna be my slaves. And he was just talking all kind of smack to the Israelites, right? And while he was talking all this smack, y'all, nobody responded to him. The Bible also says that Goliath challenged the Israelites for 40 days, y'all, and nobody said nothing. Can you imagine being insulted for 40 days and you can't say nothing, or you scared to say something? Like, that has to be like, just taking that. I don't know if I would be able to do that. But yeah, the Israelites, they were terrified. Now, mind you, 2 of David's brothers were in the Israelite army. They were a part of the Israelites army. So they were on the battlefield as well. So David's father, Jesse, he was getting a little worried about his boys. So he called David to his house, and he prepared some stuff to have David take to his brothers. And he's like, look, I need you to not only take this to your brothers, but I want you to make sure they're okay and see what's going on over there, because I want to know, and come back and tell me what's going on. So that's what David did. So David gets there, he gives the package from his father to his brothers, and while he's there, he sees Goliath and he sees the Philistines. But not only does he see them, he hears Goliath, and he hears like all the smack that's being talked to these Israelites. And he's just looking at them like, so y'all ain't gonna say nothing? Y'all gonna let this man just talk crap? David's like, I'm gonna need y'all to stop being some wimps, and y'all need to go over there and defeat this man, because he talking a little too tough right now. So I need y'all to just handle business. Y'all ain't handling business. His brothers say to him, like, first of all, you need to mind your business and tend to being a shepherd and a musician. You don't know nothing about this battlefield stuff. You ain't about this life. So just go on back and play for the king, and go on, tend to your sheep, and leave battlefield business to us. So David is like, I ain't scared of this man. You know what? Since y'all so scared, I'm gonna go on and step to him. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go on and ask King Saul for some permission so that I can go step to this man, because this is ridiculous. Y'all sitting up and letting this man talk to y'all crazy. He is not about to come and offend me, my people, or my country. I got y'all. So David goes to King Saul and he makes his request and asks for permission to step to Goliath. And King Saul is just like, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea, David. So King Saul says to David, like, you're a little boy, and sending you to step up to the challenge to Goliath is almost like sending you to death, and I love you too much. I don't want to do you like that. So I just need you to just worry about something else. Don't worry about the battlefield. So David breaks it down to King Saul. He's like, look, when I tend to my sheep, I encounter lions, tigers, bears, all that. You know what I'm saying? And I defeat them, and I defend my sheep. So just like God has given me the strength to defend my sheep against animals, God is going to give me the strength to defeat this big, tall man. He is not about to insult me or my country anymore. So eventually King Saul gives him permission. He's like, all right, you're very persistent. I'm going to just go ahead and let you step up to the challenge if that's what you want to do. King Saul also gives David his armor and his sword. And he's like, look, take this. You're going to need this to fight. And David is like, nah, you know what? I don't need none of that. Keep that, King. I'll be right back. On the way to the battlefield to step up to the challenge to Goliath, David finds some pebbles that's on the side of the riverbed, and he picks them up. Now, mind you, David also carries a slingshot with him. This slingshot he's used to defeat animals, wild animals, to protect his sheep. So he always has this slingshot with him as well. So as David reaches the battlefield, at this point, y'all, Goliath is fed up. He is upset that nobody has responded to his challenges. He is upset that nobody has stepped up to the challenge to fight him. So he's just like, you know what? I'm getting tired of y'all. I've been sitting here insulting y'all for all these days. Ain't nobody said nothing. If y'all don't step up to the challenge, I'm coming over there and I'm defeating all of y'all. Here comes David stepping up to the challenge to fight Goliath. Now, y'all, when Goliath sees David, he just starts laughing, uncontrollably laughing, because he's like, I can't believe y'all sent this little boy to fight me. Like, are y'all serious? So David says to Goliath in a serious tone, God has given me the strength to defeat you and the Philistines, and your insulting to me, to my country, to my people, that ends today. David told him, you ain't gonna be laughing in a minute, so either you surrender or you die. So y'all, they have a little exchange back and forth, and that's ended very quickly, because David is like, you know what I'm saying, you talk a lot of smack, but I'm about to show you. I don't do all that talking. So at this point, Goliath is like, you know what, little boy, you right. I'm gonna make an example out of you. So he starts charging towards David, right? And when he gets close enough, David pulls that slingshot back and bang! Y'all, it says in the Bible that as David pulled the slingshot back, he prayed and asked God for the strength to defeat Goliath. And with all his might, he pulled that slingshot back and shot Goliath with that pebble right between the eyes, y'all. Y'all, that stone hit Goliath so hard that he dropped to the ground and fell to his knees, and he fell with his face in the sand. Y'all, everybody, both the Philistines and the Israelites, were so shocked to see that this man had been defeated, not only by a young boy, but he had been defeated only with a slingshot and a pebble. Y'all, at this point, to see Goliath's face in the sand on the floor, the Israelites just knew they had won the battle, and they were rejoicing and they were praising David for what he had done and the courage that he had, and just him defeating the Philistines and Goliath. And when King Saul heard this news, he was overjoyed as well, because remember, the Philistines were the ones who were trying to take over his kingdom. This is what he probably was having those dreams about. So David, at this point, he is, high rank in Israel, you know what I'm saying? And King Saul makes him like something like his right hand man after this. I hope this video and this message about David and Goliath, I hope this story about David and Goliath encourages you to face your fears. The Israelites were really, really scared because this man was so big and so huge, and they just couldn't see themselves defeating this man. But David, even though he was a young boy, he was a young shepherd, and he knew nothing about the battlefield and knew nothing about fighting someone. God had prepared him for this moment with even when he tended to his sheep every day. And he had faith in God enough to know that nothing was too big or too small for God. And any obstacle that comes his way, even though it might be big, God is way bigger than anything he faces. And he knew that if God gave him the strength to protect his sheep from wild animals, that God had prepared him, and God would give him the strength to defeat even a giant like Goliath. I hope that this story encourages you that whatever is in your life right now that seems too big, or a mountain that you just feel that can't be moved in your life, I pray that you remember and you acknowledge God's presence, God's strength, and understand that God is so big and he's bigger than any problem, any fear that you may have. So go ahead, face your fears, because you serve a God that is bigger than any fear that you have. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon.
Any change